Smash that like button. Smash. And subscribe right now. Smash.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us at the bar. Don't forget to take care of your server, even if that happens to be you. Let's head over to the table to see what Bob, Jason, and Brian are up to today.
Yay!
All right, here we are. We're back. It is Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. It's like deja vu.
Tuesday. Right?
Okay, Bob, on the last show we were talking, about where y'all had been, and we're doing like a part 2, but I don't think you've actually said where you were at.
We were at a little place called Hedonism 2. It is in Negril, Jamaica. There never was a Hedonism 1. It started out in 1976 as the Negril Beach Village. It was originally owned by the government of Jamaica whenever they were trying to get people interested in Jamaica for tourism. 5 years later, the resort was bought by a company called Super Clubs, and they added it to their portfolio. And they had several resorts on the island. The Grand Lido properties were their most luxury stay. They had the Grand Lido Negril, the Grand Lido Sanssouci, and the Grand Lido Bracco. And then they had their lesser tiered properties. I believe they had one called Couples.
So is Couples the one that spun off into the Hedonism?
No.
Oh, okay.
Couples was a different, I think one level down from the Grand Lidos.
Okay.
And then there was another one that was below that was really family friendly. I don't even know what the fuck name that place was because I wasn't interested in that at all.
Yeah.
To me, vacation is not sitting around watching, prepubescent teens play sandcastles. Just not my thing.
No, you're all about the titties. So.
Well, no, I'm not all about the titties. But if you want titties, that's a place to go.
Well, I mean, my understanding is yes.
Okay,
that's the place to go.
So my first experience with this place was in 2000. I actually got married in Jamaica, in Negril.
Well, congratulations in 2000.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
How'd that work out, Bob?
Yeah, how'd that go?
It didn't.
Well, I noticed you said first wife, but I wasn't for sure.
Yeah. And I tell you what, the first time you get married, if you start referring to her as your first wife,
Right, immediately.
it's not a good thing.
Bitches!
Yeah.
I did that once.
When you introduced, this is my first wife.
Exactly.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Holy shit.
So there was a time I was we were actually in Edmond, and there was this we were going somewhere, and I needed to use the bathroom really bad.
What? You?
Yeah. So yeah.
Who ever heard of such a thing?
No, not Bob.
So anyway, we pull in the parking lot, and I was like, "Can you just drop me off at the front door so I can run here and take care of business?"
It was a funeral home. They didn't sell that casket again, I'll tell you.
And they did, but it was at a reduced price. Okay. So it's this little fast food place, and I go in there, I run into the bathroom, use that. And then by the time I get out of the bathroom, she's walking in the door, and the people ask her, "They're like, are y'all two together?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is my first wife." And she didn't appreciate that at all.
Right?
And,
And then when the smell came out, they didn't
How
appreciate
dare
it.
yeah,
you.
exactly.
You know.
No, actually, I just needed to take a whiz. It was just one of those gone through a super.
Well, that sounds
big
like
gulp.
just a bald-faced lie.
Okay, so all right, so I'm at the Grand Lido Negril,
Right?
in Jamaica, and got married there, and I'm there. I'm probably there 3 or 4 days in, and this place is beautiful. It's got the white sandy beaches, the best food you could ever ask for.
It's got you got your own butler.
No,
I thought you did at the Grand Lido.
not at the Grand Lido, but they had 24-hour a day room service.
Well, fuck you, Lido.
Yeah, if you can't have a butler, you're not shit.
Yeah.
So the like I said, top-notch food, perfectly manicured landscaping, trees hundreds of years old.
Oh, that's nice.
We're just talking about the women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hundreds of years old,
They
perfectly
got
manicured.
these flowers that are as big as your head. Because in Jamaica, everything grows year round.
Yeah.
And so, they've got all the beautiful flowers and everything. But the place was boring as hell. After dinner, 7 o'clock would roll around. They'd have this little nighttime entertainment thing.
Canasta.
And you'd go out, and there would be nobody on the beach, nobody at any of the bars, nobody doing anything. Everybody just retired to their rooms, and that was it for the night. And so after about the fourth night there, I'm sitting out on the beach with a cocktail, wishing there was something to do because at this point in time, I'm thinking of 28 or 29 years old.
Right.
And I'm wanting some fun. I want some nightlife. I want some action, some entertainment.
Yeah, I mean,
some,
fuck it. It's just your honeymoon.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
You shouldn't be up there in the room, jackhammering your new wife. I mean,
Well, I'd already
man, is there any way to have fun here?
I'd already come on. I've been jackhammering her for 3 years at this point already. It wasn't like it was anything.
Wasn't
new.
like it was.
It's like, that was great, honey. Now what are we going to do with the other 23 hours and 55 minutes left in this fucking day?
And I tell you what, she got pissed off when I found the porn channel on TV too.
Yeah, they have a lot of porn there in Jamaica. For
It's just like you rolling through the channels. It's like, well, at the Grand Leader, they were kind of classier because they had the Playboy channel.
Okay. So no,
always classy,
So no
yeah.
cream pies or
Yeah,
nothing.
nothing like that, no.
Especially at that point in
Yeah,
time. I think
nobody's
they've-
blowing a load on some chick's face.
All right, I think they've slutted it up just a little bit since then. But
I hope so.
But at that point in time, it was pretty. It was like just a smidge higher than
Hard
soft-
R is what it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
Soft X. They show everything but the actual act. It's like
No,
they're going through the whole thing, the motions, but it's like he's not really in her.
No, they were
Oh.
showing everything.
even on some Alaskan pipelines, right?
No,
Alaskan pipeline.
So funny, isn't it? So
It's
straight up.
disgusting.
I know. Out of all three of us, we're all three like, that's pretty disgusting. But
Yeah.
all of the shit we say,
I know, right? That's the one that gets
that's
us,
the one
right?
that gets us.
Well, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, and
God
if
dang it.
anybody out there wants to know what an Alaskan pipeline is, just look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up
All
in
right.
probably the Urban
So-
Dictionary, I'm sure.
So I'm here. I'm out on the beach. I've got my cocktail in hand. I'm just enjoying the evening because I don't know why I was by myself on the beach on my honeymoon. I have no idea. Maybe I was already sick of her shit. I don't know. But I'm hearing the bass thump in the background, and the occasional horn. Yeah,
I got the DJ horn.
Yep. Yeah. So I walk over to the security guard. Because
You motherfucker. Woo, sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
So walk over to the edge of the property where the security guard is, because in Jamaica, each of the resorts has security guards posted at the edge of their property there on the beach. They keep an eye on who's coming and going. And
Which drug dealer to let through?
right. And so I asked, what's the party spot that I'm hearing in the background? And the security guard says, well, that's Hedo. I said, what's Hedo? Is that a nightclub or something? He said, no, it's a resort. They always party at Hedo. I said, okay, next time I come to town, I'm coming to Hedo. Because like I said, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. They were partying. They were having a good time. That sounded like a place that I needed to be. I mean, hell, for all I know, not being able to actually see what was going on, it could have been somebody with the jukebox, or not a jukebox, but a jam box, sitting over there
Just one dude.
yeah, just one dude with a boom, 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 boom. But
Still, then there had been two of you.
which would have been one more than me just sitting on the beach by myself, right?
Exactly.
That's the mating call of the Jamaican, is the jam box sitting out on the beach, waiting for some lonely American just to stumble
Right.
across. So the next year, booked the trip to Hedo.
Right. With your still wife at that point.
Yeah, I didn't know much about the place other than I knew that they did have a nude beach. That's all I knew, was that part of the resort was clothing optional.
Well, now I've got to ask. Let's talk about her vagina. Was it out for that whole, trip, or Bob's looking at me
Yes.
like, what? Oh, really? So she didn't.
She actually got naked.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll be damned. Okay, this is the
so
first
obviously
wife.
y'all discussed it before you went.
No.
Oh.
We discussed that we were going to stay over on they call it the prude side.
Right.
It's everybody stays clothed, and there aren't any of those kind of shenanigans.
Which absolutely is not true now. Yeah, but maybe it was then.
But okay, here's the deal. There were two guys on the bus ride, and your experience on the bus ride from the airport to the resort was an entirely different experience than what we had 20 years ago, because they didn't have that road built.
right, it was, dirt,
It was
right?
pretty much a goat trail
yeah.
from Montego Bay to Negril. It was to the point that there were some areas that were so narrow that as the buses would pass each other, they would clink mirrors going by.
Nice.
Holy shit.
And we're on the wrong side of the road because Jamaican follows British road rules. And so you're already uncomfortable because you're on the wrong side of the road anyway. And then it's not a real road. It's just a goat trail. And it usually would take at least 2 hours. You were stopping for goats, chickens,
men, children,
cattle.
Yeah.
And, people would just stake their goats out at the edge of the road. And that's how they mowed their lawns. They just put the goat out next to the road. And, of course, these goats aren't the brightest, so they'd be standing out in the middle of the road. And,
They don't give a shit. Goats don't care.
yeah.
They don't get.
But here's the thing. The buses that they were using back in the day were so shitty that I bet if they hit a goat with one of them, that the goat would probably win that battle.
Fucking bus broken
Right.
down. It's like, are we in goddamn Jamaica or are we in fucking
You'd probably break an axle hitting a goat.
Damn. Pretty
So,
bad.
okay, so we're on this boat leading from the airport over to the resort, and ended up with the two guys there. And if I remember correctly, their names were Chuck and Larry. And one of them was an accountant from Phoenix. That was Chuck. And then Larry was a firefighter from Detroit.
Hope y'all are hearing this, Chuck and Larry.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet him again just to see what they're like 20 years later.
I mean, seeing as how they jackhammered your wife. I mean, it's on the 2-hour bus ride to look, a goat. Oh, God.
And so they asked us if we were going to Hedo, and we told them yeah. And at the time, Super Clubs had several resorts, and so part of the package.
Did you just bust ass, Brian?
Yes, I did. I'm so
Dude,
I'm glad I ain't even made it over here yet.
Oh, it's pretty bad. Sorry.
Fuck.
okay, so God,
Well, don't fan it over here, man.
you just sit over there and sniff that shit up.
I will return fire.
It's pretty
motherfucker.
bad. I'm gonna have to name it. I'm gonna name it Johnny. His name's Johnny.
Okay.
Angry Johnny.
So Chuck and Larry basically said, hey, here's what's going to happen. You guys are going to get to the resort. You're going to go over on the prude side, and you're going to hang out there for about 3 days. And it's going to be great, and you're going to be having a good time. But you're always going to be having in the back of your mind, hey, what are they doing over at the other side? And then one afternoon, you're going to drink 2 or 3 drinks, and you're going to say, well, why don't we just go over there and check it out? And then you're going to get over there, and you're going to have so much fun that you're going to realize that you just wasted the first few days of your vacation
Right.
not hanging out where the party people are. I was like, okay, makes sense. So we got there and had a couple of drinks in the afternoon, decided, why not? Let's go ahead and walk over there and see what's going on. I couldn't get clothes back on that gal the rest of the week.
No shit.
Really? She was all into it.
It took her about 5 minutes to get comfortable, and
And that was it.
that was it.
That's
That was
interesting.
it.
That's it. Because usually, well, most women usually are pretty modest about stuff like that. But
And
usually,
remember, she was a pretty big girl.
No, I've dated a couple girls that would have.
well, then on that, like, yeah, whatever.
This
But
last
well, I mean,
one,
knowing
yeah,
who
yeah.
she was, because I remember her, that just kind of shocks me that she would have done that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, she kind of presented herself a little differently, a
little more reserved about things.
professional
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But it's the professional ones that
The
are
ones
always
that
the
get
freaks,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, that's true.
School
And-
teachers and nurses.
I'm telling you, man, they're all fucking crazy. But I've dated a couple girls that would have been just fine with that.
Yeah.
No problem at all. And
So-
as you know, I don't date skinny little girls.
Well, let me throw some bonus material for your way. Land there. I think it's a Saturday. It is Jerry Springer week at Hedo. Jerry Spring and his band of misfits show up to tape on the beach this week.
Oh, wow.
And it is just as staged as you would think it had to have been for the TV show.
Yeah, I always wondered about that.
Because
Did you just really go, wow, wow. What the
I think I did.
but Jerry Springer was too good to stay there.
Leave me alone.
He had to stay across the street at the Grand Lido.
Yeah.
So he was wanting to have dinner and go to his jacuzzi suite and call it a night.
Yeah, right.
But
where he
Steve
keeps the Coke.
Steve was there. The guy that looked like Steve was there.
Okay, now what's this? The guy that looks like Steve was there.
Well, they used to have a Steve the bouncer, which is
Yeah.
Steve Wilkinson, who
Steve
now has his own.
Wilkos, yeah.
Wilkos.
yeah, I know
Wilkos.
who that is.
Okay.
What's the Steve guy that?
Well, there was another guy that was also a bouncer.
There was a couple of them bald-headed duck fuckers.
And so, but and he used to wear a shirt that says "No, I'm the other guy," because everybody would confuse him for Steve.
Oh. That makes sense.
Fun fact, they both jackhammered Bob's first wife. No. He couldn't keep clothes on her, or Steve and the other guy off of her. No, that's just bullshit. No.
So anyway, we stayed there for the week, and it was the most fun I've had on vacation. And I had the flu that week.
Wow.
So I've had the flu, and I still had more fun that week than I've had at any other point, up to that point in my entire life.
And then 150 people had a horrible week after with the flu.
Shit. So let me ask you this. Were you quick to be open like she was, or did it take you a little longer?
I didn't care. You
were already there. You were on it.
Okay, here's the deal.
Now, the entire time, did you hope that she wanted to go over there? Did you already wanted to go over there?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay. You didn't. It hadn't crossed your mind.
I hadn't really. Okay, there's a gal named Chris Santilli that wrote a book called The Naked Truth About Hedonism. And I actually read her book before I went there because she gave, it's an unauthorized story that the resort tried to sue her to keep from getting published, but she actually published it, and now they've got it at the front desk, and you can buy a copy of it from the resort.
It actually done some good for them.
It's now on the 3rd edition, but I've actually had several conversations with Chris over the years. Have probably bought all 3 editions of her book, and it basically tells you the truth. It's, if depending on what group you're with and what the vibe is, depends on the level of rowdiness, how far things get over the top. Right. I've been there before. Sometimes they've took a 6-foot tall hamster ball that was clear, and they'd blow that up, and a couple of girls would climb in it, and they'd roll around the pool.
Oh.
And I've been there whenever they put a beach slide up, and so there's a 12-foot tall beach slide going into the ocean, and people just climb up the beach slide. And
tell them why the beach slide's not there anymore, Bob.
What happened?
Well, there's a gal that got really drunk one afternoon. Decided to go down the beach slide head first and backwards. Broke her back on the way down.
So, always someone there to fuck it up, isn't there?
Somebody crashed into it and broke her back.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Especially when they thought she was just being really passive while they were fucking.
I was waiting for something.
Right?
Showing.
Yeah, that was fucking. No, I heard that, and they're like, "Man, we used to do all kinds of stuff," but
they used
lawyers take over.
They used to have a circus trapeze, and they actually gave classes on how to do trapeze work. There was an ice skating rink at one point in time. They had a slide that went halfway across the resort that you could actually...
Like a zip line or a slide?
Well, okay, you know where the boardwalk was leading off? Okay, that was where you climbed. That was the tower that you climbed up to get on the slide, and then it would carry you down into one of the plunge pools below.
Well, I wondered what the fuck that whole thing was about. It's like they just got this big boardwalk that leads over here. Why not just take the regular stairs?
No, it was because that boardwalk led to the water slide and the pool at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, the slide wrapped around and landed in that pool.
What the fuck are you doing, Harry?
Liability reasons. The lawyers made him take it out for insurance purposes.
Well, she's the dumbass, not him.
He's talking about broke back bitch that.
Yeah, broke back.
Yeah, well, but Harry's, he's not a, he's a wealthy man.
No, he's done wonders for the place. The place was getting in a state of disrepair whenever he bought it about 8 years ago.
Really?
And he's remodeled every single room on the resort. Brought in top-notch chefs. I mean, they used to have lobster night, and you thought that they'd cook lobster over a pile of burning tires the way it tasted. I mean,
they
it was
actually did.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but now
the food was exceptional. Man.
Yeah,
it was good. The drinks were great, and you could eat all the damn time. There was only a couple of periods of time you couldn't eat.
Okay, so have we talked about the groups, the way that the groups work here? I don't think we have.
No. I don't think so.
Okay, so it's weirder than any other place that I've been to because what they do is different groups will book 35 rooms, 50 rooms, 100 rooms. This place has got 280 rooms. So there's about 560 people that can fit on the place. So sometimes they have big groups that'll have an entire resort takeover. So they'll book every room in the place.
It's a lot of penis.
And bring all their people in. But there's 2 boobs for every dick.
Sausage fest.
Oh, that's true too. So I guess that outnumbers.
Except for that one weird chick, and then there was 3.
But we don't judge. So
yeah, it's a no judgment zone, man.
So okay, so each group books so many rooms, and the group that I like to book with, I think this time they had 35 or 40 rooms, so there were 70, 80 of them. And then there was another group that was there, and they were doing this thing called beach bind. Now, this is for the people that are into the tying each other up with ropes and doing all the intricate knots, and it's based upon like some 400-year-old Japanese shibari or something. And
was it cool?
Well, okay, it kind of was to a point, but okay.
It just seemed a lot of like, going way all around the loop here, getting dressed up to go on to town and then, spending 3 hours to get ready and then you go to fucking McDonald's. I mean, I was hoping that, okay, this bitch has been hanging here for an hour.
Yeah.
In a weird
screaming in ecstasy.
Yeah. In a weird contorted position, very intricate rope work. Okay, cut her down and fuck her now. No, they'd cut her down and sitting around with the rest of the group and talk for 2 hours about it and clap and watch each other tight. And I was like, man, I don't really get it. I hope they're going back to the room and he's just plowing her field. But then I did see one guy that, he did a very little bit of tying and smacking her around, spitting on her and blindfolded her with her own bikini. And then he proceeded to, oh my God.
He was plowing her with
this guy. Man, the guy... When we saw him walk out, the woman that was tending bar at the beach bar, an older lady, Jamaican lady, she went, "Oh my God!"
And you gotta imagine these bartenders on the beach.
They've seen a lot of dicks.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
And he was a young, happy guy with a smile on his face. I'd be smiling too if I had a hog like that.
And they've got Porn Star Week in Jamaica, and so that she's seen everything.
She's seen it all. Yeah.
She's seen the knee hangers. She's seen the, This
kid was sporting a healthy hog. Yeah. And he blindfolded her. He gagged her pretty good there for a little while. And then he went down on her and he's spitting on her. He's slapping her thighs around, slapping her right in the snatch pretty hard.
Damn.
I mean, hard. And, and she's like, oh, all this stuff. And then he just walks the fuck away. I mean, there's like this bed. It's like a little pavilion thing, and it has a mattress on it.
Yeah,
and
it's like a day bed for just laying around.
Yeah, and he just goes away. And I told the bartender, I was like, man, he left her in a holding pattern. She's just here circling the fucking airport. Man, what do I do?
She's blindfolded, tied up.
Yeah, she's over there. She's not tied up yet. No, she's over there rubbing herself. And I thought, well, we're all just kind of watching, like, what's going to happen next, man? I mean,
the suspense was killing you.
Did I forget to draw a number? I mean. You
should have just ran over there, Jason.
I ran over there and just really impressed her. I doubt she'd have called me by his name, Frank, She'd have probably been like,
Fabio.
What girl is that rubbing me with her clit? It's an erection, bitch. And so anyway, all of a sudden here he comes trotting back from the room with that goddamn gin pole of a dick bouncing around in front of him. And he's got like a vibrator and some rope and some other little shit, so he had to run and get accessories. And so then he flips it on and chips her teeth with that thing. And he's spitting on her snatch and stuff like that. And then he ties her up a little bit. And then he literally just
split her in two.
Oh, he turned her fucking cervix inside out.
Jeez.
I mean, he railed her, and I thought, well, at least, finally. Thank God.
There's an ending to this.
He didn't spend 3 hours tying her up in fancy rope. These fat, comic book guy from The Simpsons looking motherfuckers that are fully clothed, and some of these little hot little girls, and they're all dominant and shit, these guys. And it's like, they're not the ones getting tied up, they're not there, with their dicks out, but this guy, he was like, look, we enjoy a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
I'm going to have all kinds of fun, but then I'm going to literally ruin her for everyone.
Did you go up and thank him, shake his dick?
No, I was too busy masturbating.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I was sitting at the bar and went, God dang, man. And man, it was like, whoa. And at that same pool, this is all on the prude side.
Yeah. Well, okay. There's been a switch in the way that the resort operates in the past 20 years. It used to be the prude side and the clothing optional side. Yeah. Well, now they've kind of switched over, and now it's the nude side and the clothing optional side.
Which means it's all nude, but if you want to wear clothes, you can.
On part of it.
But I saw a lot of nudity over there on the prude side, but they had a little pavilion there.
Girls are laying down on the beach chairs, and you just walking on the bar, and you can see straight up Main Street, man.
Oh, yeah. One of them was like on her hands and knees doing the rope thing, and I was like, holy crap. It's like, man, I don't know if I should slip my hand in there and go play catch or what. Man, a big catcher's mitt looking, you know. And it was, yeah.
It's like, we're here for the postseason.
I mean, it was neat. The rope stuff was very intricate. I talked to some of the people. They were nice, but they kept to themselves.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I didn't like about that particular group is because they set up their own tent there on the beach to do all of their rope stuff. And there was a very a very exclusive group. They didn't want to talk to anybody there. They didn't want to interact with anyone. They didn't want to do the Hedo thing. They wanted to do their own thing encapsulated at Hedo.
It kind of, some people thought it killed the vibe.
Yeah, because, you've got, 250 people staying at the resort. Whenever 100 of them are off all to themselves and not interacting with anybody else, then
they were a little smug, like it's their own little exclusive secret or something.
Yeah.
And at night they'd be hanging each other from the fucking trees on the beach. Like, goddamn, I can't even stroll the beach with my cock out without seeing some bitch hanging. And
Yeah. I mean, I understand how everybody gets into something. People enjoy things. What's wrong with you? Did your foot go to sleep? Charlie horse.
Oh, I bet that feels good. Yeah.
If y'all can see it, Bob's up dancing around now. He's got a
right.
I thought you had a shit or something.
No, I'll be fine.
But yeah, man, they and that's fine. They were doing their own thing. I'm okay with that, but they did not, like, if there was shows. One night we had the little bondage show on the main stage there in the main dining hall, and they stayed for that, and then they were out. But everything else, they didn't participate hardly in shit. They'd eat, and then they'd go back down there to do their thing.
And
they'd be out there all hours of the night, man. I mean, they didn't try to run you off. They can't run you off.
Yeah.
So we'd kind of sit back and watch, but
have a cigar.
They were right there by the beach bar,
But it sounds like, to me, it sounds like that's all it is. It sounds like it'd get boring. Maybe not to them, but as in a spectator.
Just, they're like, well, it's about, giving up control, and it's about trust, and it's about release. And I'm thinking, I got a come along strap and a pretty good goddamn right hook. I'm gonna crank you down. It's gonna take me 3 seconds to crank you down good to where you can't move.
Yeah, but you're not doing the special rope.
Yeah, all the special tying, because the knots matter. And I told one of them, I said, you know what? I said, I thought I knew how to secure something in the back of my truck. Something that I'm hauling. I said, but now I see the error in my ways. I know now that I need to call one of you motherfuckers. And the chick says to me, she says, well, we do have a thing called a trucker's knot. And I was like, of course you do.
Yeah. Jesus.
I'm like, so why are you using this kind of rope or this, and one day in broad daylight, they take their girls and they're in there and they tie them up and bind them, and they're in the pool and then they're submerging them. I thought he was going to drown this one chick, this dude. I mean, she's literally slapping water at this point because he's posing for pictures. There's no pictures, but they have their, a photographer there for it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking, you're not paying attention to her, and she's underwater. And finally, she brings her hand up and is slapping water, and he's like, oh, and then pulls her up. And I thought, you fucking weirdo. And then they were dragging the girls around, these tied up girls in the pool by their hair. And I'm like, oh no, man! I'm just not getting it. And
what happened to these girls for them to be able to be tied? I don't know, but there was one beat the hell out.
There was one whose the front of her thighs were just nothing but bruises and cuts, and
she probably felt sexy.
Oh, absolutely! She's showing them off, and that's her thing, man. I'm not trying to judge anyone. I don't know what the fuck happened. They made them get that particular.
Well, I mean, to each their own.
Well, that's what I was telling Bob. They ought to change the fucking motto. Instead of "be wicked for a week," to each their own.
Yeah,
and they would practice their rope stuff in the gym too, and in the mornings and stuff. But
to me, it's like to do that, to do nothing but that the entire time you're there, that's a little excessive.
And they were there longer than we were, man.
Yeah, that's
But
excessive.
see, they could have rented out a high school gym
And done the same
and
damn
done the
thing.
exact same thing and had their meals catered in, and it would have been a 10% of the price.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
You can go to their website, beachbind.com. They go all over the place.
Really?
We had dinner one night with a couple that, well, both of those couples that we were having dinner with at the hibachi restaurant were part of that rope tying stuff. And one of them, that one couple was from Croatia.
Wow.
And at the beach bar, Miss Paulette said, well, it used to be just the French Canadians that came down and did this. And although I met this dude and his girlfriend, they both were wearing CGMs, constant glucose monitors. And, of course,
Yeah.
I wear one of those too, although I didn't have it on because fuck that. I don't want to know what my sugar was. But anyway, they're naked or whatever. And he's also sporting the pretty healthy, kielbasa, and his girlfriend's cute and everything. And I was like, oh, CGM, we're talking. They're both type 1 diabetics, they're in great shape. And they're from Quebec. And, I was like, oh, and then one guy was like, oh, y'all are Canadian. I said, no, they ain't Canadian. They're from Quebec. But they were actually pretty decent people. But yeah, they were tying each other up too. But according to one employee, she said it seemed like everyone that used to do it was from, they were French Canadian there.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And, but now, like I said, Croatia and then Germany, there was a couple, I swear, that were brother and sister.
Oh,
They looked so much alike, and she was just adorable. She was
Yeah.
somewhere from Eastern Europe. One of the model girls from the model shoot, she was from fucking, I don't know where the fuck it was.
Yep.
Latvia or some
Well,
shit.
well, they were scheduled from 8 a.m. until 1 a.m.
Yeah.
tying up each other.
And they had like a formal night
Yeah.
and shit. And yeah.
I mean, like I said, teach their own, but to me, it's like that would get kind of boring after
I
a while.
hope they were
guess,
fucking
I think.
after a while.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
I'm hoping their sexual release just wasn't, I was tied in an uncomfortable position for 3 hours and,
Yeah.
and then nothing happened.
I can
there.
wrap you up in a sheet and drive you around in a truck for that much
I
and
was
bounce
hoping-
you all over the place.
I was hoping that a big buck Jamaican, would come riding in on a horse with a lariat and
Right?
just
Cowboy Jamaican.
jump off of his horse as he's wrapping his lasso around her, hog tying her real quick, and then plowing
his
her,
hands up.
raise his hands up, and then starts just plowing her like the back 40.
Yeah. And then we hold up scorecards.
Right.
Like rodeo.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting little thing. Yeah.
They're all running, trying
A
to get
sport.
away. No, you got to take time with your knuckles. And then he's got our hog tied up. 8.5.
Yeah. And while everybody else is under the tent and they're on their 36th knot or whatever, and
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you was talking to them, did they say anything about like it takes certain kind of rope they have to buy?
yeah.
It comes from a different country.
It's a
or-
preference. A lot of them, some of them are using hemp. Some, just natural
Sisal.
sisal, natural fiber ropes. Some of them are using nylon. But, one guy was like, well, nylon tends to burn worse than
right. He was
hemp.
talking about the skin coefficient.
And I'm like, I'm thinking you're full of shit. Maybe not, but he's like, it's harder to tie knots with this. But then some other guy was talking to another couple that I happened to be at the bar around, and he was like, yeah, the nylon doesn't burn you as bad as some of the natural. So they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. It's all just, hey, this was what was at Ace Hardware before we left home.
Okay. So speaking of Ace Hardware,
Oh shit!
okay, it's just been in the last 25 years that people of this particular persuasion could get together in these type of groups because, prior to the advent of the internet, how are you going to find out about, some specific group of people from all over the world that gets together to spend a week tying each other up?
Yeah, you'd have to find some kind of trade magazine or something.
yeah,
a porn
probably.
magazine.
Or I'm wondering if, they just stand around outside Ace Hardware, seeing if other people were buying 200 or 300 feet of rope and didn't look
Yeah,
like.
yeah, that's true too. Or
you're
just own a
tying-
copy of Hustler.
You're tying something down, or they'd have to go to some kind of a porn shop or something. And usually if you walk into Ace wearing a ball gag, there's a good indication.
But it's like I said, I guess what I'm trying to get on, what I was trying to say a while ago was, I get when people have their fetishes and things they like, but when that's all you do and that's all, it's like people trading baseball cards. That's all they talk about and that's all they do.
Right.
It's just that's what it seemed like from what I'm getting from the two of you. That's all they did the entire time they was
look,
there.
I'm all right with a little bit of hair pulling, some spanking. Who don't like to
Well,
smack a
everybody
girl?
does that, yeah.
Who doesn't like to smack a healthy ass? Come
Yeah, everything you were against when you're 4-year-old comes back into favor as an adult.
yeah.
Naps, spanking.
You bet.
What?
No shit.
Never thought of it that way. Yeah, that's a good
Everything
point.
I needed to know sexually, I learned in kindergarten. Share your toys.
Yeah. But still back there, like, pulling hair is wrong.
Yeah. And, so yeah, it's, I don't have a problem with it. Whatever, and one guy was telling me, he's like, yeah, it's not our, thing we're into, but it's a beautiful thing. And it's fuck you. Beautiful thing, trust, what? So's being married for 60 fucking years, but, I don't know that's fine. They're into that, but it's all they were into.
Yeah.
Right.
Except for that one happy, smiling, fucking banana hanging motherfucker who, God love him. I'm telling you, he literally just, good God.
Oh, you talking about the younger guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
was
okay.
there with his girlfriend,
Yeah.
the pussy beater. I mean, he literally is spanking it hard. I don't mean just like, I mean, he's smacking it like it insulted his fucking mom. And she's blindfolded, and so she's like, and jerking real hard, and we're all like, yeah, that's it. Fucking put that bitch in her pussy. Take that, you fucking pussy. And I mean, and the bartender, she's like wincing, like, oh.
Oh, God.
I mean, we're like, and then he's like spitting on it and then smacking it again.
But the bartender, she was going home to her man going, I got something though for you.
She has real short hair, and she's like, that's why I have my hair short. Nobody's pulling my hair. She mentioned that once. I was like, okay. What do you want me to do?
What are you saying?
She was an older lady, real sweet, and she's seen it about all. But
Oh, dude, can you imagine working in that every single day?
well, they're paid well. It's
Well, I'm
laid
sure
back,
they are. I'm
and
sure
it's
the tips
funny.
are
It's
great.
something to talk about,
Yeah.
And it's but yeah, I'm like, why are you beating this girl's panani so hard? Especially when you're about to split her in half with this custard launcher you got in front of you. And yeah, man,
Oh, is that them?
yeah, Beach Bind.
Wow, that's weird.
Beachbind.com.
And they just
ladies and
hang
gentlemen.
them there.
You know what? If you mention At the Bar podcast, you get 15% off
Your sissel.
your sissel rope.
And some of them had mermaid fins.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like I said, that one girl, man, they tore her clothes off, the hairy armpit girl that I.
Beachbind.com. All right, there's got something to check out.
Yeah. I'll tell you. And then there was a group of an African-American group that booked through
Missy King.
Missy King Travel. And they were a fun group, but they kind of kept to themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
Although they'd come to the nude side and party too, but you know what? They kind of kept to themselves.
Now, just seeing some of these photos that Bob had up over here, I see an art aspect of it.
Yeah.
Kind of artsy. How some of them look kind of cool, like the girl by the palm tree and all that looks cool.
Oh yeah, it looks
But-
real cool,
yeah.
especially when I get to cut her down and fuck her.
But whenever they are like when they're just constantly do it, I guess you don't really notice the arts part of it until you actually go to the
And
website.
and I get the flogging thing, and I dated a girl that was really into that shit,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. God, I guess there's something wrong with me. I just want to fuck them, I mean,
What's wrong with dinner and a movie?
exactly.
So would you say, Jason, that that's really not you, or you're like, I'm up for it, or
Look, here's what's going to happen.
okay, here we go. Let's hear this.
Okay, we're going to have.
Hang on just a second. Let's get this right.
I heard this, and I can't take credit for it, but we're going to have brief digital, extended oral, premature genital, and that's how it's going to fucking go. First, maybe we'll go out, have dinner, a few drinks, not too many, because otherwise, if I have too many, I'm going to raise the staff. I'm not even. Okay, so I want to do all that. You want me to pull your hair? Fucking, call me daddy. Don't weird me out too much. I don't want you to make a bunch of weird course I will. You know, that's different.
Yeah.
Fantasy is different than putting it into practice.
Plus effort.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, cuckold porn. Oh, he's going to fuck your wife so hard. Yeah, you bet. That's great. Do I want some guy to come fuck my wife? No. I don't. If I'm married, no, I don't want some guy just splitting her open. No. And then she's like, clean me up afterwards. I'll watch that porn.
But you won't live it.
But I'm not going to live it. Sometimes the dreaming is better than the doing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, there
It's
you
like,
go.
oh, God, I want to be double penetrated. That's too close to another man's dick for me.
Yeah, that's a little too
That's
close.
That's
sometimes
like touching sex.
You know what? It's like, yeah, let's put you know what? Let's take a very thinly sliced steak and put it between our dicks and rub them together. Because that's what you're doing.
So what you're saying is, if you had a girl and she said she wanted to do that, you would say no.
I'd say, man, I don't know, baby. I mean, really, you know, and she's like, I'm going to have a threesome. Is it with one of your friends or like a girl? And then she's like, yeah. And I'd be like, well, you know, it's a beautiful thing. I'll do that for you. If she's like, no, it's my friend. He's a coworker and I've known him for years. He's 6'7" and he works out and he's just really a wonderful human being. Of course he is, that big dick motherfucker.
Yeah, he walk in the door, throw it over his shoulder.
Bob, what about you?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of.
If your lady said, hey, I want to bring another dude in on this too.
It probably depend on who he was.
You know, you got look, we can play pinochle across her back, but there's that rule that we both revolve. Either we agree to the rules beforehand.
Yeah.
Clockwise or counterclockwise revolving. We don't fucking mix it up.
Yeah.
And it's like Ghostbusters. You can't cross the streams.
Right.
And you can't.
I'm not opposed to a good spit roast.
And me neither, in theory.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm like, man, this is going to be awkward. You know, and it's like, I don't know. You know, I'm not even into anal, man. I feel like I'm trading a fucking steak for a bologna sandwich. Let me take your wonderful vagina and trade it for your dirty butthole. Am I going to pour beer on it when I'm done and wipe it off with your blouse and then go back to the steak? You bet.
That's like the guy.
Anal's one of those things I only want if you tell me no. You know, forbidden fruit.
That's usually how it works. Yeah.
You know,
There was a guy actually told me once that a woman was the cruel trick on men. I said, why? And he said, because he put the playground right next to the garbage dump. He does a cruel trick on us. And I was like, yeah.
and I eat ass. I'm not afraid to admit that as a human being.
All right.
You know, ladies, if you're listening,
Oh my God, he does that.
I'm putting a tongue in every orifice you got.
Well, there you go.
But you know, anal doesn't excite me. I'm sorry.
It's not your thing.
I just enjoy and no, I'm not pulling out. I'm fixed.
Yeah, you're fixed. Yeah.
And I want you to be safe and I
Fix
want us
that
to
old dog.
and I want us to get to a comfortable point where I don't have to wear a fucking condom
Yeah, that's always nice. Yeah.
because I can tell you I'm coming inside of you. This is getting really bad in person.
Okay, so
Cream pie.
okay, so there's a particular term, and I can't think it off my head. That is something. There's one state that's got a law that is trying to be put on the books about guys that trick their spouses or girlfriends or whoever they're having sex with, and they're taking off their condoms without the other party knowing about it.
Right? That's good.
That's wrong. Well, that's like the girls poking the holes in the condoms.
Oh God, yeah.
I've heard stories about that.
Well, no, but this is like I said, this is guys that are, I guess they don't like the condoms or whatever, and
But man, this isn't the 60s, man, where you could get a shot and get rid of half the shit that was wrong with you. This is the time where things are a little different. You got to wear them.
I hear that that lambskin is the most comfortable, but it doesn't protect against diseases.
No, it does not.
And plus, if you use the lambskin while it's still in the lamb,
That's a little bit of a problem.
it is. I won't do that
for the lamb.
You want to do that again?
Not again.
Yeah.
You know.
That's good you learn.
Well, you got to wear cowboy boots.
And I know you put the legs in the back. Fuck that! I just break its legs.
God dang.
And then when it's done, it's just left gooey and lame. Like,
It's
you know
dragging,
what?
it's dragging itself out of the frame with its front leg,
Right? Leaving a trail like a
Looking-
slug.
looking like that dog off a Family Guy that belongs to the old guy.
Right. Sorry about that, sheep. Ouch. this show, how did it get to this
I
point?
don't know, man. It just ends up here.
So stealthing is the process of
Stealthing? Pulling your condom off.
Without your partner knowing that you did.
It's called stealthing.
Stealthing, yeah.
The shit they come up with.
Why is that exciting to some guy?
That is called non-consensual
Once again,
condom removal.
Because he was told no. Just like you said.
Okay, so
anal,
just
you're like, I don't really care. You can't do that now you want
But
it.
the thing is, I still don't want it that bad. If she's like, you can't really have it, and I'll be like, okay, I'll move on.
Okay, but it's
Kind of wanted it.
as I get older, condoms kind of desensitize, and it takes a lot more effort.
Let me tell you, I got a story about that. And I can't name any names, but a lovely young girl that I dated, who was a very good girl, and
She was a good
she
girl.
had not been sexually active at the point that we started seeing each other. I had only, let's see, I was divorced. She wasn't on birth control, and I didn't have any condoms, and neither did she. So she borrowed some from her neighbor,
Wow.
and then put them away. So one night we get in there and we're hot and heavy, and she gives me the condom, and I'm tear the package open, and I'm putting this condom on, and it occurs to me, I can't feel a fucking thing. We're going at it, and I can't feel anything.
Yeah.
I thought, what's wrong with my dick? And man, it was freaking me out, and I was literally to the point I was struggling. I thought, I'm going to lose my erection.
Yeah.
I'm in my mid-30s, and I'm thinking, oh God, something's wrong.
Right.
Now I'd be like, well, shit, this ain't happening tonight.
30-year-old paranoid.
Yeah. Now we might as well just watch TV. But at that point, I thought, oh God. And I was a trooper, man. I was concentrating so hard. I thought, I got to finish, because even if I finish way too early, that's okay. It'll be a lot better than me going soft
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
and her going, what the fuck?
Is something wrong with me?
Yeah.
She would have done that. So, man, I got there. And
Yeah.
she did too. Yay. Great girl.
Well, okay.
Anyway, and I got up, I jump out of bed.
Well, if you're wearing a condom, you can fake it.
Yeah, I know, but shit, man, I was like, so I get out of bed, I take this condom off, I'm in her bathroom, I'm like cleaning myself up, and I'm like, what's wrong? I'm numb. And I come in and I was like, what kind of condom where's this condom? And she's like, I don't know. We flip on the lights, I'm looking around. It is a desensitizing condom. You might as well have shot my dick up with Novocaine. I was like, what the fuck? She's like, I just borrowed a bunch. She gave me like an assortment of condoms. And I was like, okay, desensitizing, no. Magnum, no. I'm like, yeah, no. I mean, I'd never used one of those. And I was like, it's
Why?
supposed to
I don't even know why they would make them.
Well, it's to keep you from coming too fast for premature ejaculation.
Okay, that's what a condom. I thought that's what a condom was for.
Yeah.
No, not always.
No, it still didn't work that way.
No.
But I'm just saying, don't desensitize it to the point where you can't feel a damn thing.
Yeah, that's crazy where it's just like you could like thump it, not even know you're thumping it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck.
I mean, I thought, what in the fuck is going on? Yeah, that wasn't cool at all.
Okay, so if it's a desensitizing condom, all right, I know how these things are packaged. It had to be desensitizing on her too, right?
I don't know, man.
I know. I think it's on the inside of the condom,
But-
so it shouldn't get to her.
Dude,
Do you know?
where's the inside of the condom? Which side?
Oh, that's true because she really.
You unroll the damn thing.
Yeah, unroll, but which
Yeah.
one's? Yeah,
So-
you're right. You're
So
right.
okay. So the thing is
That's like buying a roll of duct tape and trying to figure out why duct tape won't stick to itself.
yeah. So the thing is though, but she's like, no, I felt fine. I'm like, I didn't feel nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of her, by any means, but I was like, can't they find a middle ground on that?
Yeah, no, shit, that's a little overload.
Just
Yeah.
let me come fast. You just deal with
At
it.
least you know that I was
At least I
excited.
get something out of
Yeah,
it,
no shit.
too, but yeah, I mean, it was like, that's bizarre. I don't know. It was weird. And it was a Trojan brand.
Huh,
I seem to
interesting.
remember it being a green and white package. I could be wrong, but it desensitizing shit. Sensation killing. You know what? That's fine. Hey, I love the idea of something that's going to make me last a lot longer.
Yeah.
not to the point that I lose my erection because I can't feel anything.
Yeah, that kind of ruins it when it gets to that point.
Fuck a
that's not good.
desensitizing condom. Get her a sensitizing spray.
Okay, they call it extended pleasure.
For who?
That's what Trojan calls it. They have it's a purple and green package. Climax control lubricant. Male genital desensitizer. There again, how can it be a male
And not a female.
right? Because
Well, if you put it on correctly, the way it's supposed to be rolled on,
I understand that
then it shouldn't affect her. But if you go backwards, which
Yeah, I know. I mean, which,
well,
is kind of weird if you do, but still.
I can tell you from personal experience, if you go seeding some jalapenos and don't wash your hands really well, or even if you do wash your hands really well,
it doesn't make a damn bit of difference.
and finger banging turns into a hot pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah,
did that really happen to you?
Yes, it did.
Oh shit!
imagine,
Did
yeah.
she get pissed?
Yes, she did.
And I'll tell you what.
Was
man.
this the first wife?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Well, man, the next bitch is really going to be upset when you shove those Scotch bonnets straight
Absolutely.
up, or that you got on your, or those habaneros you got up there, or
No,
something.
the first wife got the back treatment.
Yeah, just on her back. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Man, I don't know, desensitizing. Climax control condom. You know what, though? If you use that on a chick and then go down on her, you can get dental work done right after.
Yeah, you don't even have to wait.
Yeah, you can't
They don't
feel
even
a
have to
fucking thing.
They don't even have to numb you up.
He could have root canaled me.
But
He
you're gonna
couldn't
have
okay, I'm ready.
But you're gonna have a hard time explaining it to him because you'll be talking like this.
Yeah.
He won't be able to see your
Man, that
face.
sure was good. You give me that sweet pussy. I'm about to bust a nut in your snatch. Fuck that. A dentist could have came in and put a gold crown on my dick. And they're drilling. I'm like, what's happening? It's dark in here.
Well, you could have probably got a piercing.
Right? They could have PA'd me.
Didn't you used to have a piercing?
Yeah, but it wasn't on my dick.
I thought you had a piercing on your
No,
dick. No, okay.
Why you look literally? When would you have seen it?
No, I swear that I thought you told me you had one.
Absolutely not. Although I know a guy that they pierced through his urethra, so when he would pee, it
Sideways.
It'd spray a little bit out of the bottom and top and the center too.
So you basically got to plug it up like a carburetor on
Yeah.
a weed pipe.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't spray real bad, but it dripped and leaked, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Man.
That doesn't even sound appealing.
Oh, I couldn't even finish giving him a hand job. Fuck. Yeah, shit. So where are we at? What's our we almost there break because I gotta pee.
You got to pee? Well, we got about 5 minutes and the show's over.
Well, shoot, I can probably hold it.
Can you hold it?
Uh-oh. all this talk about this stuff. They're like, yeah, he's not gonna go pee. He's gonna go masturbate.
God, he's got himself all worked up.
No, and this is why this is going to be a 4-parter Hedo, because there's some good stories.
There's still more stories, and I think we kind of got off track there, but
Yeah, we did,
yeah,
but
but there's going to be some more stories.
There's so much about the qualities of the place. It's not just all about freaky, funny little sexual tales. There are some. Bob's got a particularly good one involving
Well, what y'all do next time? You'll need to broadcast live from there. See?
involving somebody's grandma, or possibly great grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was a group rolled in towards the end of the week that they were older, more mature.
Yes.
Did you get you some, Bo?
No.
You didn't jump on that?
But I saw it happen.
Whoa.
We had one that was all over Bob and I, like our last night there. And she was like, "Are y'all by yourselves?" And we're like, "Well, yeah, we came together, we're hanging out. We
wanna break my
We came
hip?
with this group." And she was like, "Oh no, I'll bring you right into my room. You'll be with us." Oh God. She was, and then the next morning,
She was mad that she didn't find us the night before.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And she was
And we
like,
were leaving. Our bags are packed. They're at the bells, and we're like, "Sorry, we couldn't get to hang out with you
Yeah.
last night. We gotta
she's
go."
like, "Y'all look like y'all are dressed to be leaving." And we're like, "We are, ma'am all." And,
Call me Mama.
And you know what? She was an attractive, much older lady.
Is she the one y'all sent that picture of to me?
Yes.
Yes.
The one with the gray hair or whatever? Yeah. I
No,
mean,
not the silver hair.
not the other one?
Yes.
Yeah, she wasn't too bad. Her body was all right.
I think the one with the silver hair was pretty.
You know, well, if she'd had her, natural teeth, she had all her teeth, but they were in her fucking pocket. And when she has pockets on, you know what? I thought her hair was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, she seemed pretty. I mean,
I can see her in a full necked fucking foot, nightgown carrying one of those old candle holders or something,
Yeah, she looks like Mrs. McDougal from Harry Potter. All she needed was the hat.
You know what?
and a cat.
You know what? Amazing, because when you think about places like this, you think about people naturally think younger people, this and that. But it
Sure.
amazes me when there's like older people, like old people.
One dude was celebrating his 74th
Yeah,
birthday.
74th birthday going there, and he loves every bit of it.
You bet.
And that's just a trip.
And that was probably his 40th or 50th trip.
Yeah. Him and his wife and
that'll
his
be
daughter.
Bob.
His daughter was with him. They're all naked together.
Wow.
But she was like raised in a nudist colony by them.
Well,
that's their
They're
gig.
just into that, yeah. But now, what about? I mean, I don't think I could go to some place like that with my daughter and all the people are doing all kinds of sexual stuff, right? I'd feel kind of awkward around my daughter.
Yeah.
I would think.
I mean, I know because there was some crazy shit going over that nude pool, and Bob can tell you more.
I mean, you felt
about
weird
that.
watching that movie with your daughter, the big blue dick swinging,
the
and you got
Watchmen-
all weirded
The
out.
Watchmen, when fucking big blue dick, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, and yeah, I texted my daughter.
What was the name?
Manhattan. Yeah, Dr.
Dr.
Manhattan.
Manhattan.
I told my daughter, we were, texting back and forth some because she was watching my dogs and staying there with them. And I was like, you can never come here.
You can never come here.
Not even on the prude side. Sorry.
And she's almost 30.
Yeah. Yeah, no, sorry.
No, you're never going to go.
Yeah, I don't want to find out about it.
No, dude, you better not say a damn word to me.
Yeah, if you go, don't fucking tell me.
Yeah, no shit.
You better tell me you stayed at the Grand Lido.
Or sandals.
Yeah. Yeah. We went to Margaritaville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now we did go over to Rick's Cafe.
Yeah, since 1974, one of the top 10 bars in the world.
Got on
Tourist
the
trap.
catamaran. How big's that catamaran? Would you say 50 foot, 60 foot?
It's huge. They raise the sail just to show. This thing's it's powered. It's,
Yeah.
They're not doing any fucking sailing.
Yeah.
And it takes 45 minutes to catamaran ride over to Rick's, and then they drop you off, and you stay at Rick's for a little over an hour.
Yep.
And they've got cliff divers that are panhandlers.
Yeah. I mean, and it's cool. They do some neat diving.
Cliff divers that are panhandlers.
Yeah, they're begging for money, to do the thing. And
They'll go up and dive, and then on their way up, they'll have a tip bucket for you to. They want tips for their diving.
yeah.
Do you tip them?
It's like, no, you're not Greg Louganis. So get
Yeah,
the
fuck
hell
that.
out of here.
I'll tip you if you bust your head. That's what
Right.
I came
Yeah.
to see.
I want to see a
I'll
belly
give you a
flop.
tip. Don't do that again.
And you can dive as well.
You do a belly flop.
Did you dive?
Fuck, do I look like I did some diving?
Is it pretty big? Is it like
Yeah,
quite,
it's-
quite a cliff? Did you dive?
I did not.
Oh, okay. I was
You know
just
what?
checking.
My spine is compressed enough. Even if it was a perfect dive, which I am incapable of, it's still just the impact alone.
Yeah.
I'd have come back looking like Danny DeVito.
I've only dived once. When I was younger, I was at Whitewater, and I dived off their little cliff up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, after I got out of the pool, and I spent the next 10 minutes getting my balls to drop again.
Yeah.
God dang, that hurt so bad. I mean, you got to land right, because otherwise that hurts
fuck
like
that.
hell.
And it's a touristy trap motherfucker. I mean,
Yeah.
it is. And they had some DJ up there and these girls twerking their asses off. And
Man, I don't understand that twerking.
it was hot. And it was, I don't know, man.
Just have you seen like where they twerk and they put their ass up on the wall?
They better fucking pay for the repaint. I'll just tell you that.
I mean, like they'll get on their hands and do like a handstand, but they'll put their feet on the wall and they'll twerk their ass. I seen that someone do it at a kid's birthday party. It was stupid. That really did happen.
Yeah, maybe if there's a glass wall and you're on the other side of it.
Yeah, but yeah, this person.
Maybe
did
if
that.
I stick a roller and a handle in her ass and she does that, she can paint that fucking wall.
Yeah,
get to work.
yeah. Watch the edges.
That's right. There's some painters in this house. There's some painters in this house.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna have a part 3 of this.
Probably,
for
there's
sure.
probably got a
And
part
probably a
4.
four.
Probably gonna end up being a part
Maybe in a
4 of this.
5.
Okay. Yeah, because I know we keep getting off subject, but I know y'all have got some way more in detail things to say.
And
know you'll do.
I feel the need to put a red light bulb in my bathroom.
Right? All the bathrooms have these little red lights. It's like a night light, so you don't walk into that glass goddamn frosted door.
Head first, yeah.
I wonder how many times it took me to figure that one out.
I don't know.
Well, this is the first time I've seen it, but
Yeah. So there you go.
Wow.
yeah, because
All
we
right.
haven't even talked about Jason's catamaran tours of the
Right.
Hobie Cats,
Yeah.
I sailed a Hobie Cat and all kinds of
Well,
shit.
cool. But that'll be episode 3.
Lobster Night.
Yep.
Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. We will see you Friday.
All right.
Jason, once again for the second show. It's glad to have you back. We appreciate it.
Good to be back.
Bob, as always,
A
peace
pleasure.
out. A pleasure. Yes. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
And a special guest appearance from the lovely Annie.
Yes.
She didn't.
No, that
yes,
was
this
last
that was
week.
last week.
And she called you while you were fucking here, right? She didn't get on the air, but
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about when she called we were here. Oh, okay. I think I said, no, that was last week.
no shit.
All right, man. Well, we're out here. Y'all take care. We'll see you next Friday.
See you next Tuesday. Yeah.
Friday. Today's
Friday.
Tuesday.
Uh,
God, where are you at?
Yeah, you cunts. See you next Friday.
Later.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by for a drink. I hope you enjoyed hanging out. Next time, invite some friends. Like and subscribe so you won't miss out the next time we are at the bar.
What's up? That felt pretty good, right?
That was great.